But I contend, and the judge in her ruling sort of confirms, that this is what the NFL deserves for the way that they have ultimately not treated women, but allowed women in their atmosphere to be treated. Whether it's the cheerleaders for the Washington Commandos, or it's the spouses and girlfriends of players in their league. Just general behavior. The NFL has done a terrible job in protecting women. They have oftentimes used women to investigate. So the investigation of the Washington Commandos was done by a woman, right? And the NFL has no written report because they don't want one. We had a written report on the deflation of footballs. What, like 50 pages on deflating a football? We got that, but we can't get a written report on the absolute abuse of women within the Washington football team's organization, including the women who wanted their own abusive behavior, the behavior that was abusive towards them, including those women wanting it to be public. They wanted it public. Forget about a written report. They wanted everybody to know. And we don't have that. So in a way, I look at this as Judge Robinson going, yeah, you guys have been jackasses forever. So this is what you get when you lick your finger and you put it up in the air and you go, which way is the wind blowing?
Yeah.
That's been the NFL. That's been the NFL when it comes to these types of decisions, these types of incidents.
Well, something that was interesting that I saw earlier today, I believe the Pro Football Talk tweeted out that the NFL on their communications website had their conduct policy posted, but now you go to look at and it's not there.
Right.
Interesting.
That is true.
Interesting.
So, look, there's no way. Let me just look at it from this angle too. If the NFL appeals to Roger Goodell, what's he going to do here? He's certainly not going to suspend him for a year. No shot at that happening. Zero shot at that happening. So what would the NFL be basing their decision on? What would they be basing it on? The Roger Goodell decides, you know what? 10 games. All right, 10 games. Now what? Now what? Like, it's 4 more games. I get it. He's still playing. When he comes back, he's still an embarrassment to your league. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying the NFL. I think the NFL was right to argue for a lengthier suspension. But I think their better move here is to simply suck it up, take the L, and move on, and maybe go about the business of considering the women that operate in your NFL orbit. Maybe do that.